Also making news today, Malcolm Turnbull has defended his suggestion that wealthy parents should buy their children houses to help them get into the property market.
Yeah, the PM made the off-the-cuff comment in a radio interview, and now the Labor Party has slammed him for being out of touch with real-life Australians. Let's bring in Tony Jones and Shelley Horton to discuss this. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Tony, Opposition Leader Bill Shorten has attacked the PM over this, asking if the answer for young Australians trying to buy their first home is to simply have rich parents. What do you think?
Oh, look, it's pretty cheap on Bill Shorten's part, or anyone's part, really, because, as you said from the outset, it was an off-the-cuff remark. It was made during a radio interview. It was made in jest. And look, I suppose the problem with Malcolm Turnbull is, and I'm not here to defend Malcolm Turnbull, but I suppose the problem, because he is such a wealthy man in his own right, he's an easy target, and so he is on this occasion. But I would have thought that there were more issues that the opposition could attack him over. I mean, it's not as bad as when Joe Hockey said that poor people don't drive cars. I mean, that was a ridiculous comment, and it'd be very hard to beat that one in the ridiculous stakes. But this one was off the cuff. But unfortunately,
but
as
I mean,
say,
off-the-cuff comments are still comments to make, and, you know, at the end of the day, he was there suggesting that someone should be buying a home for their children.
Ben,
Shelley,
did you hear the audio? Did you hear the audio?
Yeah, I've heard the audio, but I mean...
And it was said in jest, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, but you're the Prime Minister, you know, and at the moment, housing affordability is one of these key issues, and I don't know, let me bring Shelley in for a moment and ask you, Shelley. The reason I think this is a bit of a problem for Malcolm Turnbull is that a week earlier, he used a family as a backdrop for saying, look, we care about negative gearing, it's really important.
Yeah.
But the family they used as the example, the father said, oh, yeah, look, we want a negative gear because we're buying a home for our one-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone is able to buy a home for their children.
Absolutely not, and it should never be a given that that's how you get ahead and how you get into the housing market. What I think, though, is we should be discouraging parents to give their kids a leg up, because I don't think that many people are learning how to save, learning to go without things and making sacrifices so you can get that house deposit. I know it's really hard. I did it. I did it as a single person and I had to go without a lot of things. I did not buy a new piece of clothing for one whole year so I could save that. But I did it.
Yeah.
You know what? And it wasn't that hard in the end, and I now have an investment property. But no leg up from my parents, no leg up from anyone else.
Same.
So I think that it's actually about being a bit responsible for yourself and not expecting a handout from your parents.
Come on, lighten up, everyone. It was an off-the-cuff remark. Have we lost our sense of humour?
Clearly we have, Tony. All right, moving on. And the government also has plans to let rich people skip the queues at customs for a fee. Under the plan, passengers would be able to buy a premium experience at airports, which includes being fast-tracked through border security. Tony, what do you think about this? Is it fair?
Absolutely. This couldn't be any more fair if you tried, because the rich people can obviously afford to buy their way through customs, and I mean that in the sense that they don't have to wait around. But what that means is it takes them out of the rank and file queue, which means that the rank and file, if you want to use that term, actually get through faster. Everyone's a winner here, so the rich people can actually pay to get through quicker. The less fortunate in the economic sense actually get through quicker as a result of that. So I think everyone's a winner here if they can afford to do it.
Will they, Tony? I mean, or will they, the people who are currently serving, you know, all of those queues, be moved across? I mean, we're not saying that they're going to put on extra staff to deal with the rich people coming through.
Well, if they're not putting on extra staff, then yes, we've got a problem. But if they are putting on extra staff and they have these express lanes, the rich lanes, if you want to call them, then if you've got 20 people in a lane and 6 of those are wealthy enough to actually buy themselves a fast track, then that means 14 people benefit as a result of that, and they're going to get through quicker. But as you say, it all comes down as to whether they're going to put more staff on.
Shelley, your take?
I have no problem with it. It's user pays. So if you've got the cash and you want to fork it out and get through that airport, which is pretty painful most times, but I'm with you, Son. Like, seriously, if they take away some of the customs officials from general, you know, public to just serve the rich, then I have an issue. And the thing is, they're making money out of this, so they can afford to put more people on.
Good point.
Yes.
OK, what about this? The ultimate lover's revenge. A woman in London has defaced her boyfriend's Range Rover after finding out he was cheating on her. You can have a look what's written there. Hope she was worth it. It's over. And it's a $170,000 vehicle. To you first, Shelley.
I love this. I love it so much.
How did I know you would love it?
I think he deserves everything. I have a great story like this. A friend of a friend, isn't that always the case? Her husband cheated on her and she moved out. But before she moved out, she just got a bottle of water and wrote cheater in the carpet on the lounge room and then sprinkled alfalfa sprouts. So about a week later, cheetah sprouted through the carpet and he had to replace the whole carpet.
TJ?
Oh, well, I mean, how would you like to come out and find that someone's written on your car there, I hope she was worth it? You know what I would do? I would find her car and I'd spray on her bonnet. She was.
Oh!
You know what? I think living well is the best revenge.
Was that an off-the-cuff comment, TJ?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate?
Was that just an off-the-cuff comment?
Yes, and we're all laughing. And it's
Okay.
great. So we've achieved something.